Hey, Estelle!
Salut, Paul!
Recently, we've been talking about where we're from using viens de. Now, let's listen to our French friends discussing where they're from.
Bonsoir, je m'appelle Justin.
Enchanté, Justin. Je m'appelle Elsa. Tu viens d'où?
Je viens de New York. Et toi?
Je viens de Paris.
Now, how could Justin continue the conversation?
Well, Justin could ask Elsa if she likes where she's from.
Oui. To ask, do you like Paris? Justin could say, Tu aimes Paris? Aime means like.
Aime. Tu aimes Paris? It's your turn to try. Repeat after me. Aime. Tu aimes Paris? You can also ask the same question by saying, Est-ce que tu aimes Paris?
Est-ce que tu aimes Paris? Do you like Paris?
Est-ce que is made up of three words. Est-ce que.
Since est-ce que is such a common phrase, it's usually pronounced est-ce que when it's said quickly.
Notice the difference. Est-ce que? Est-ce que?
Est-ce que? Est-ce que?
Let's practice it together. Repeat after me. Est-ce que? Est-ce que? Est-ce que tu aimes Paris? Est-ce que can be added in front of any statement to make it a question, kind of like how we use do to make a question in English.
Now, you tried to make a question with est-ce que.
Say, do you come from Paris in French? Super! Est-ce que tu viens de Paris?
Let's listen to all this in another French conversation.
Claude, est-ce que tu viens de Paris?
Oui, Alice, je viens de Paris.
Est-ce que tu aimes Paris?
So how would Claude answer Alice's question?
Well, let's say he does like Paris. In that case, he would say, J'aime Paris.
I agree. J'aime Paris. J'aime is just je and aime blended together. So j'aime means I like. J'aime.
J'aime. J'aime Paris.
Now you try. Repeat after me. J'aime. J'aime Paris. But what if he actually doesn't like Paris?
Who doesn't like Paris?
I know, right? Well, let's learn how to say it just in case. Just like I'd say je ne parle pas anglais to say I don't speak English, I could use ne and pas to say I don't like Paris. Je n'aime pas Paris. Now it's your turn. Using ne and pas, say I don't like Paris in French. C'est bien. Je n'aime pas Paris.
Now that we know how to say that we do or don't like Paris, let's see what Claude has to say about his hometown.
Claude, est-ce que tu aimes Paris?
Je n'aime pas Paris. J'adore Paris.
Huh. It sounded like he used a new expression there. J'adore.
J'adore. That means he really likes Paris. Adore means love or really like.
J'adore. It's easy to remember because it sounds kind of like the English word adore.
But keep in mind that adore only means love when talking about places or objects or activities.
Oui, to tell a person you love them, you may already know that you say je t'aime instead of j'adore.
Well, j'adore parler français.
Who doesn't? And next lesson, we're going to talk even more about love and learn why people love or don't love their cities.
I love it. In the last lesson, we learned to talk about liking and loving places, especially Paris.
All our talk about Paris is making me want to take a trip there.
Oh oui, j'aime Paris.
Moi, j'adore Paris.
Paul, it's not a competition. Let's listen to what our French speakers think about the City of Lights.
Claude, est-ce que tu aimes Paris?
Oui, j'adore Paris. Et toi, Alice? Tu aimes Paris?
Je n'aime pas les grandes villes.
Alice answered the question a bit differently than we might expect. She said, Je n'aime pas les grandes villes. I don't like big cities.
Let's break that down. We know je n'aime pas means I don't like. What about the rest?
Les grandes villes. Grande means big and ville means city. So grande ville means big city or big cities.
Remember that, like English, French often adds an S to the end of words when talking about more than one thing.
But in French, this S is usually silent. So big city and big cities sound the same. Grande ville. So how do we tell if it's a big city or big cities?
Well, remember we use les to show that we're talking about more than one thing. So to talk about big cities, we would say les grandes villes.
Let's practice this. Repeat after me. Grande. Ville. J'aime les grandes villes. We can say j'aime les with other things too. For example, we would say j'aime les musées and j'aime les trains.
And of course, my personal favorite, j'aime les baguettes. And it's the same thing with adore. For example, you can say j'adore les chocolats.
Now you try. How would you say I like croissants in French? Super! J'aime les croissants.
Going back to Alice and Claude's conversation, we know that Alice n'aime pas les grandes villes. She doesn't like big cities in general.
Let's listen to the rest of their conversation to find out what she thinks about Paris in particular.
Je n'aime pas les grandes villes.
Oh, tu n'aimes pas Paris?
J'aime Paris, mais je n'aime pas les touristes.
Well, she did say she likes Paris.
But she also said mais, which means but.
Right. Mais. She said, mais je n'aime pas les touristes, which means, but I don't like tourists.
J'aime Paris, mais je n'aime pas les touristes.
Now it's your turn. Let's pretend you and your friends are having a conversation about places you both like to visit.
When your friend asks you if you like big cities, tell him, no, I don't like big cities, in French.
Est-ce que tu aimes les grandes villes?
Très bien. Non, je n'aime pas les grandes villes.
Now let's try something a little more challenging. Let's say that you don't like most big cities, but one has a special place in your heart.
Say, I don't like big cities, but I like Paris, in French. Excellent. Je n'aime pas les grandes villes, mais j'aime Paris.
Now let's listen to everything we've learned in one last conversation.
Tu viens d'où, Elsa?
Je viens de Paris. Et tu viens d'où, Justin?
Je viens de New York. Est-ce que tu aimes Paris?
Oui, j'adore les grandes villes. Et toi, tu aimes New York?
Oui, j'adore les musées et les restaurants. Mais je n'aime pas les touristes.
So it sounds like Justin likes the museums and restaurants in New York, but not the tourists. Et toi, Estelle? Est-ce que tu aimes les touristes?
J'adore les touristes. I love it when people want to visit a new place. Salut, Paul. I've really been enjoying these last few lessons about what we aime et adore.
You know what I adore more than anything? a good party.
Me too. Let's head to one now and listen to a conversation between some people who are meeting for the first time.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Étienne. Et toi?
Enchantée, Étienne. Je m'appelle Charlotte.
Enchanté, Charlotte. Tu viens d'où?
Je viens de Berlin.
Ah, super. Est-ce que tu aimes Berlin?
Oui, j'adore Berlin. J'aime les grandes villes.
Okay, now it's time to meet someone new. Imagine you're having lunch at a friend's house. You're having a delicious spread of all sorts of tasty French foods like a salade niçoise, ratatouille, and of course, lots of café.
You happen to sit next to someone you've never met before. What do you do now?
Well, you should definitely introduce yourself. Say, hello, my name is Morgan. And you? In French. C'est bien. Bonjour, je m'appelle Morgan. Et toi?
Your new acquaintance responds.
Enchanté, Morgane. Je m'appelle Jacques.
Now that Jacques introduced himself, say, nice to meet you, Jacques, in French. Parfait. Enchanté, Jacques.
Now keep the conversation going.
Ask him, where are you from, in French? C'est super. Tu viens d'où?
Je viens de Paris. Et toi, tu viens d'où?
Let's imagine you're originally from London, Londres, although you're currently living in France.
Say, I'm English. I'm from London, in French. Excellent. Je suis anglais. Je viens de Londres.
Ah, super. Est-ce que tu aimes Londres?
Since you do like London, say, yes, I like London, in French. Super. Oui, j'aime Londres.
You love London because you love the energy of big cities. There are so many interesting things to do and see.
So tell Jacques, I love big cities, in French. Très bien. J'adore les grandes villes.
Finally, ask him how he feels about his hometown.
Ask him, do you like Paris? Bravo. Est-ce que tu aimes Paris?
Oui, j'aime les musées et les restaurants, mais je n'aime pas les touristes.
You end up spending the rest of lunch chatting with him about the differences between French and British culture. When you finish your food, you have to go, but you plan to meet up again later to continue talking.
Say, see you later, Jacques, in French. C'est parfait. À bientôt, Jacques.
À bientôt.
Et à bientôt from us as well.